Hi. If this isn't eye-catching, I don't know what is. This is getting in my mouth, though. That's disgusting. Hi, friends. Welcome back to my channel. I have a wig on to keep people interested. I will not be keeping this on the whole time because I did not brush it out, and I look kind of crazy. But for now, it's cute. Today, we're going to talk about possible divorce. Vasectomy, ? Babysitting, meaning babysitting your partner. A lot of ratchetness is going on, and I hope you're here for it. So before we jump into it, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Hit that notification bell so you can keep up to date. I'm really trying to hit that 100 follower count. So if you've been watching and you've been enjoying it, please hit that follower count. Show me some love. Also hit the like button. Do something. Shit. Help a bitch out. All right, and with that, let's get started with story number 1. All right, story number 1. We have my 43-year-old male wife, a 43-year-old female, says son not talking to her will end marriage. Why is he not talking to her? Let's find out. We have my 43-year-old wife has said that our adult child, 19 years old, refusal to come home or speak to her will end our marriage. Is it your fault? Well, I guess we'll find out. The son was admitted to a very prestigious school, good for him. And from the day he got in, she was rather cruel, saying things like he didn't deserve it. Bitter. And was taking someone's spot. Why the hell would you say that to your child? Jeez, girl. Also, this is a different relationship one, right? This is a relationship between kind of parent. I guess it's both. And it's also affecting the relationship between him and his wife. That's crazy. Granted, the kid made mistakes, but he put in the work, and when he didn't give her credit, she was offended. Work for what? Why would I thank you? You bitter Betty over here. Once he was dropped off at school, he went no contact with her, and because of this, she forbade either I or his brothers to speak with him, which then caused him to have a relationship with his grandparents. I'm sorry, y'all. I need to take it off. It's me, Hannah Montana, or Miley Cyrus. I forget who her real name is. That's insane. You are literally saying, no. You need to be thanking me for something you don't deserve. You're all over the place. And then he goes no contact with you, and then you're like, no one else should speak to him. You really want to just bully people into doing what you want them to do, don't you? I'm surprised you have anyone around you. That's crazy. And I'm guessing you're not close with the grandparents, which is why it's bad that he's making a relationship. I'm just going to imply that. Which in turn made it worse because she does not speak to her mother and does not get along with mine. Well, there we go. So now my son has come home due to medical issues and will be here until at least January. He refused to come home and instead went to stay with one of his grandmothers. This caused his mother to wish death upon both his grandmothers. Girl, because they assisted him in getting home. Your child is sick and he needed someplace to go. Instead of saying like, at least he's home and healthy, you're like, death to all of them.
Death to all of them.
Death to all of them. Gagged. Oh my goodness. She has essentially blamed me for... Now, you know there's about to be some bullshit. She has essentially blamed me for him not coming home or talking to her and has stated it is a nail in the coffin for our marriage. So you really think that you bullying him, being mean to him, saying he doesn't deserve anything, wishing death upon the people that are actually going to take care of him is the way to make him come home? And then you're going to blame your husband for your actions? He a little bitch because he's staying with you, ain't he? Ain't he? You're the one that wrote it, OP. Woo, child. The last time they saw each other was Thanksgiving, and she slapped him. No, this ain't even funny because she didn't like something he said. I feel like she is having an extreme response and maybe some mental health issues. Well, what gave that away? I'm on the verge of calling it quits. On the verge? You should have been like, I already filed. What can I do to ease the peace in this? What can I do to protect myself from her stabbing me in the back? Literally. Can I say that on YouTube? Well, I guess too late now. Is there any recourse here? The first comment, why would you let someone treat your kid that way? Whether she's his mother or stepmother, it's unclear to me. She's horrible. Like, what kind of question is there? What kind of marriage are you trying to preserve? Because obviously, I shouldn't say obviously, I guarantee if she's talking to your child like this and she's setting these kind of like ridiculous rules and expectations and never holding herself accountable, that has been appearing in your marriage and will continue to, and that your other kids, okay, yeah, the sons, his brothers, are also dealing with this. So when are you going to step your foot down and say, we're not doing this for my own peace, for the peace of my children, for the peace of my mother, may she live on happy and healthily. I need to let you go. And I hope you find the peace that you so often throw away. Crazy. I'm on the verge of calling it quits. Story number 2. I'm pissed. Okay, story number 2. I'm also not going to read all of this one. This one will be a quick one because I ended up reading through this one. I normally wait to read it, and this one I just got curious, and we're just going to give a nice quick summary. So my girlfriend, 22-year-old female, wants me, 22-year-old male, to get a vasectomy. For starters, we've been together a little over a year. You've been together over a year, you're 22, and you want to talk about having a vasectomy. There are these wonderful things called condoms. Also, we'll get through the first part. And I love my girlfriend. I'm sure you do. I can see myself spending my life with her. And even though we have down moments, I love her. I just have doubts about getting one done. She's dead set on not having kids, but I'm really not sure what I want out of life at the moment. Now, I'm going to start with a few things. One, vasectomies, yes, they are reversible. But the longer you have them, the bigger the risk is for it not being able to be reversible. So, and also I think it's like more painful getting it done in the reverse than not. Here are my thoughts on it. If you want to get one, well, first of all, if you be a responsible human being, if you're like, I don't want to have kids, I don't want to have kids with a Randall, then please be using a condom and don't just rely on the pull-out method. Please, let's not act like we're 14 years old, okay? If you yourself were dead set on not having kids and you're like, okay, great, you know what, I don't mind doing this, then that is your decision to make. Just like it's her decision to say, like, actually, you know what, I'm dead set on not having kids. Does that mean that she should just get a hysterectomy and be like, well, then stop complaining? No, I don't think that's the answer either. I think there are ways in which you can participate in safe sex. In a lot of ways. A lot of that would include using a condom, amongst other things, right? There's a lot of ways in which you are able to do this where you don't have to worry about, or you have very minimal risk of worry about having a kid. That could be useful for both of you. You've been together for a year. That's very young to make that big of life decision. And the big thing for me is that you said, I'm not sure what I want out of life. AKA, I'm not sure if I want to have kids or not. Meaning, you probably do want to have kids, but you're just gaslighting yourself into thinking you don't so you can be with her. This woman is not that incredible that you need to be giving that up at the age of 22 if you think that you want to have kids. I think the bigger question is why she's so adamant about you going through this very serious procedure. I mean, I shouldn't serious. I mean, on scale of things, I mean, every surgery is some degree of serious. If it's something that's not for you, what that tells me is that you two just shouldn't be together. The rest of the story didn't matter. There's no reason that you should want to give this up because it's important to you. And if you're so worried about having a kid, not having a kid, then there's ways in which you can practice safe and responsible sex. So stop giving me this bull crap about like, I love her and all that stuff. Are you going to be with her? If you're like, I can see myself with her for the rest of my life, for you, that means if she's set on what she says, that you're not going to have kids. And are you okay with that? Because if the answer is no, then you should just break up with her. I don't care how much you love her. It's not going to work out long term. And then you're just wasting each other's time and you're making it more difficult for each other. So it's an important conversation. I'm glad it came up. Make sure you're responsible and do something about it. Be with someone that wants to have kids because I think that's what you want. And, you know, it's always your body, your choice. You can choose if you want to get one. However, just make sure that you are aware of the consequences and you are holding up your side of the bargain by engaging in sex. Oh, the first person was just like me. Not the first comment. Not even going to read the entire post. Hard stop. You are not married, right? That's a very big decision to make. For so, especially you've been together 1 year and you're in your early 20s. That's crazy. Do not make a permanent change such as this to your body at the request of a woman who may or may not be around in 5 years or less, right? The last thing you want is to be with her for 5 years, her saying, no, you want kids, or you finally deciding like, yeah, I'm going to stick my foot down. You go to get a reversible one and they're like, sorry, actually, we're not going to be able to. And then the worst thing is going to be like, yeah, if it was a year ago, maybe we would have been able to do. You don't want to put yourself through that. If you're going to get a vasectomy and you're going to do it for that long period of time, I personally think like you should be with someone you're like, we know we don't want to have kids for right now. We're just going to be doing this. And when around that time comes up, it's like, okay, are we still feeling this? Are we not feeling this? But like, that's something you shouldn't take lightly. Yes, it's reversible, but it's not like a light switch, right? Talk to your doctor, do all those things. 22 and wanting a vasectomy is insane. Whew, child. All right, last one up. Story number 3. An 18-year-old female wrote this. She is with a 21-year-old male. Got it. And she keeps ending up in relationships where she becomes a caretaker and she's starting to resent it. The caretaker at 18, that sounds kind of crazy. I've been with my boyfriend, 21-year-old male, for about 8 months. At first, he was very shy about accepting help or gifts. Sure. But over time, he's gotten so used to it that it feels like he expects it now. Careful, careful, careful. If you give him mouse a cookie. I drive him everywhere since he lost his car, pay for food when he forgets his wallet, that's in quotation marks, and even cover his Ubers to work sometimes. To work? So he do got a job? It used to feel like love. Now it feels like obligation. No, it sounds like blaming you. People have to earn these things from you. As someone that likes to give willingly to people, especially when there's someone I'm dating, I'm like, no, I don't mind doing this or paying for the meal or doing the extra drive or doing those kind of things. When you do that stuff too early, you are then setting an expectation that's how things are going to be. And I don't think that's your fault because if someone is going to reveal to you who they are, I think it's for your own protection and safety of your own emotional well-being. And in some cases, your wallet, that you take time before you gauge when you're with someone, that you start going out of your way in certain aspects, right? You want to make sure that they are self-sufficient on their own, right? Is he able to get to work without your help? Great. So I don't mind stepping in to fill that gap if need be. But if you're not able to do it on your own and you're just going to be relying on me, that is just going to be taxing for you, however it ends up turning out. The thing is, this isn't the first time this has happened. My last boyfriend, also 21-year-old male, we'll get back to that, eventually started relying on me financially too. And you're 18? No, we'll get to it now. How are you 18 and your last boyfriend was 21? The best case scenario is that you got out of that you were in that relationship for 3 months, you got out of it, and then you started dating this guy, and you're about to turn 19. All right. Are you doing the math? Because the math isn't math. And it sounds like you were with this 21-year-old male as a high school student, which means you couldn't work full-time hours, most likely, unless it was the summer, paying for a grown man that was in his 20s. I think there is a bigger problem at foot where you are getting sucked into being manipulated by these older men and who are like, oh, you're so mature and you take care of me, and you're playing the wife role. And for whatever reason, whether that's something growing up familially, if you have, there's some kind of association that you're making with these men that are older than you in a way that's inappropriate. I know it only feels like it's 3 years, but it sounds like you started dating while you were teenagers, someone that was in their 20s. And it's giving cycle that you might be starting to pick up. I don't know if I'm picking the wrong people or if someone's teaching them or somehow teaching them to depend on me. I just want to be supportive, but now I feel like more of a mom than a girlfriend. I think you are secretly picking men that are fitting that bill. And the fact that you're picking these men up who are 21, and again, I know the year gap doesn't feel that serious, from someone that is a late teenager in that time versus 21 where you can like go to bars and you can do a lot of things on your own and you have a different set of life experiences because you got to live as an adult, usually like outside of the home or the things that you're able to do. It's a very, like, those 3 years are not anything to scoff at. In some states, I believe it's illegal. Okay? How do I break this cycle without losing the part of me that enjoys giving? You make sure you're not with men that are older than you that are relying on a teenager to help them pay their bills. That part. You have to I shouldn't say have to. You should do your best to find ways in which you can get involved in therapy, so you can recognize the pattern that you have when you're choosing partners. Also trying to find partners around your age, and don't give yourself the crap of like, but older men, they're so much more mature. He's so mature, he can't pay his bill. He can't get an Uber to go to his job. Come on now. Come on now. They both can't be true at the same time. Don't be a fool now. Whew. So keep in mind, you might have a pattern. I think you should let him go. I think you should reflect on self, and this really give yourself the time to breathe and be very selective in the next person that you take on as a partner. Yeah, one of the comments says, but the only real way to get an answer is big therapy or some introspection. A lot of people ask themselves, like, I don't know if I'm picking the wrong person or if somehow teaching them to depend on me. It could be a little bit of both. No, actually, it's not the latter, because the kind of people you're picking are the ones that are likely to do that. Not everyone is going to be like that if you show them their affection, but that's why I'm saying from experience, you have to be able to wait before you give things, because people's characters will reveal themselves. 8 months and you started doing all these things, that means you probably started at month 3 or 4. It doesn't mean that you shouldn't be giving these kind gestures or gifts. It just means you have to be watchful and careful about when and how you give out your love, because there are a bunch of scammers out there, as you know. All right, that's it. That's it, friends. That's time. Okay. Thank you so much for watching. Again, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Help me get to my goals, please. Yeah, I think that's it. Yeah, that is it. All right, friends. Have a good day. See you later. Bye.